The Frankie Montas era is over in New York. So was it worth it?
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's an easy $150 if your team wins. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn to get started. With me, as always, is my producer, Steve Granado. Steve, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Stace. Happy New Year to everybody out there, for our everydayers and everybody else. First episode of the year. Here we go. And how this works is it's not the new year yet. It's how this works.
Right. I still have for about 4 hours, 20 minutes, 4 hours, 19 minutes.
I'm down to 7 hours. Down to 7 hours here on the West Coast. Thanks for clicking on the show, guys, here today. Of course, being that it's New Year's, we had some New Year's resolutions for the Yankees. That's coming up much later in the show. Of course, there was a slurry of moves over the weekend in Major League Baseball around the pitching front, which, of course, we are very closely monitoring the free agent and trade landscape when it comes to pitching. So we got to talk about that, and where does that mean where the Yankees land? It's very strange right now in the world of baseball. But of course, Stacey, one of those moves that happened over the weekend, Frankie Montas, former Yankee, barely, signs a 1-year deal with the Cincinnati Reds, who have weirdly enough been very busy this offseason. The Cincinnati Reds have 1 year, $16 million contract. As of the time of this recording, I have not seen anything incentive-wise in that deal. It has not been officially announced, of course, pending physicals and all that kind of stuff. 1 year, 16 mil, Stace. And as we have brought up multiple times in the offseason, the projections from MLB Trade Rumors, 1 year, 15 mil. Right on the nose.
Right there.
Of course, Stace, the Yanks were tied to Montas. They had expressed interest in bringing him back. I think on our last show, we had mentioned that. On Friday's episode, we had talked about it.
Yeah.
Thoughts on this, Stace? Montas, 1 year, 16?
I'm shocked by the number, even though MLB Trade Rumors predicted 15. I feel like that's really high for someone who barely pitched the last two seasons. And I'm disappointed that the Yankees didn't take a flyer on him, because I feel like he's one of those guys who's ripe for a rebound. I feel like he can have a solid 2024, and I feel like he could have helped the Yankees. Again, not projecting him to be a 2 or even a 3, but maybe a 4 or 5. It could have been, just a good solid guy to have in the rotation. And now he's not there, and now he's with the Reds. But it feels like the Oakland to traded to the Yankees and then signed by the Reds pipeline is still in play, because Sonny Gray, now it's Frankie Montas. Who's next?
Staying hot. I'm gonna be real with you. I mean, there's no official reports on the Yankees front of this. I think it was just too high for the Yankees. They didn't.
I think so too. Yeah,
they didn't want to do that,
because that's what most people were saying when the deal came out, because there were other people who had the same feeling as me, like maybe take a flyer on him, but no one was thinking 16 million, and you knew the Yankees
10,
were going to do that.
9, 10.
Yeah, 16. Oof. But
16,
we'll talk about it later, how crazy the pitching market is, but that's just one example of it.
Yeah, so his last year of arbitration was $7.5 million, and we say this anytime we talk about money on the show. We don't care.
Right.
Ultimately, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference.
It's not ours.
What did Eric Jeter make in 2009? You don't know. No one knows. Who cares? But regardless, yes, I think that's what happened here. Is the Yankees probably heard that number and said, "Thank you for your work. Good luck."
Right.
Of course, Stacey, when we wanted to come to the decision here, was this a bad trade ultimately, right? Let's go through his timeline. How did he get to this point? Frankie Montas, that is. Look, Montas had established himself with the Oakland A's, as we know, wasn't his first team, but that's where he established himself. He had some good years in 2018 and 2019. He had a bad 2020. Hey, who didn't? And then he broke out in 2021, right? Finished the top 10 in Cy Young. I think he finished 6th in the American League. He had a really nice 2021, and he was pitching pretty darn good in 2022 at the time of the trade to the Yankees, too. So the Yankees made the trade. They needed to bolster the rotation. That was for sure. The second half, they weren't playing as well as they were in the first half. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. The trade was officially Montas and Lou Trivino back to New York for JP Sears, Ken Waldichuk, Luis Medina, and quasi-utility man, Cooper Bowman. So then Montas comes to the Yankees. He makes 8 starts in New York towards the tail end after the trade deadline in 2022. 3 of those starts were pretty good. Most of those starts were pretty darn bad. He finishes with a 6.35 ERA in 8 starts with the Yankees. He's complaining of shoulder issues, something he said he was dealing with before the trade that was missed in medical stuff. He misses the postseason. He tries to go through an offseason. He ends up getting shoulder surgery in February, right around pitchers catchers. Right, that was one of the first stories of spring training. That was like our first major story that you and I covered together on this show. And then he rehabs way late in the season and ends up coming back to make 1 appearance for the Yankees on September 30th on the road against the Kansas City Royals. And let alone caveat or a little throw-in, little sugar on top to this whole mess. Don't forget Lou Trivino did not pitch in 2023 either. So the trade, Stacey, Lou Trivino, Frankie Montas for JP Sears, Ken Waldichuk, Luis Medina, Cooper Bowman. Good, bad.
Seemed good at the time, but turned out bad. You know?
Yeah.
Because both those guys were solid guys. And without the injuries, they would have been solid guys for the Yankees. And it just, bitten by the injury bug, and both of them needing major surgeries to help with those injuries. And I know at the time people felt like they gave up a lot there, but I felt like it was a good trade. I felt like those 2 guys were really solid, but ultimately it's a bad trade because of how everything worked out.
Yeah, especially you're considering, again, trying to put yourself in that mindset of the time. Again, they needed reinforcements. They weren't going to get those reinforcements from AAA at the time because it was the guys they traded that would have been them, right? It would have been the first call was JP Sears, right? JP Sears had kind of been up and down in 2022. And you were also getting 2 years out of both guys. That was like the nice bonus to that thing, is you weren't just getting them. They weren't just rentals. You were getting a season and a half out of both of them. Which, okay, yeah, that makes some sense. You're making a push right now, and you anticipate making a push in 2023.
And then you didn't even get a full season out of both of them combined. That's crazy.
No, which is crazy. I mean, look, Lou Trivino was good, really good in 2022. Like, he pitched great for the Yankees. Just did not pitch in 2023, period. Just didn't pitch.
Yeah.
So I also wanted to look at, Stacey, the guys that they gave up and what has happened. JP Sears did not pitch well last season. Didn't pitch well at the end of 2022. Didn't pitch very well against the Yankees, even at home against the Yankees. Of course, he was really good with New York. Like, he straight up was really good with the Yankees.
Yeah.
Ken Waldichuk, same fate. Did not pitch well last season. Did not pitch well at the tail end. He didn't really pitch well at AAA with Las Vegas either. He was really, really good with Somerset, and he was pretty good with Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Saw him multiple times. There was a couple of games where Ken Waldichuk was really, really shining and really showed some flashes. Luis Medina, I never personally got a chance to see. He struggled mightily with the A's this past season. He was good with Somerset. I wouldn't say he was great with Somerset, but he was good with Somerset. Let's be frank, if he hadn't been traded, he still wouldn't have made his major league debut at this point. There is no way he would have made his major league debut if he was in the Yankee system. Cooper Bowman is pretty much the only success story here. And that comes with a caveat. He was decent with Midland this past season by comparison to his professional numbers. His college numbers much better than he has shown in the minors. Midland is AA. So he was with Midland for the most of the season, but he also missed a massive majority. He only played like 70-something games this season. So he missed about half of the season this past year. And he had struggled, like I said, in the Yankee system. So look, the caveat here for me, Stacey, I don't know how you feel about this. I have no qualms that JP Sears would have pitched much better in New York than he has pitched in Oakland. I have no qualms about that. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah. Does it feel like them leaving the system hurt them?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, I haven't talked to them about it personally. I have no doubts.
Yeah.
I'm like 99% sure that the Yankees did a much better job with Sears, Waldichuk, and we're doing a better job with Medina, again, without having seen him personally. Look, I don't think Waldichuk wouldn't have spent the entire season with the Yankees this past year. He would have probably been up and down. He would have been a call quicker than Randy Vasquez would have been.
Oh, yeah.
JP Sears would have probably been with the Yankees all of 2023.
I feel like that too, yeah.
So
yeah.
I bet JP Sears would have pitched more than Clark Schmidt would have had he been a Yankee in 2023. He would have been the Clark Schmidt, and I think he would have pitched better than Clark Schmidt. But that's just at the time. And when it comes to looking at it right now, it's going to be skewed because I think the potential of all those players, save Cooper Bowman at this point, still very early in his career. But at the time and looking forward, those players would have been better in New York than they're going to be with Oakland. And I think I have very little reservations when it comes to that. So right now, I think, yes, it was a bad trade. And I think it's going to be hard to tell because of where they are, because of the state of that organization and where they're going to go in their careers. I think it's a bummer. I think it's a real bummer for those players. I think it's a bummer for the Yankees, and everything in Oakland is a bummer. So,
yeah.
Let us know what you're feeling about this. Do you think this was a worth it deal? Do you think the Yankees are going to regret this in the future? I think so. But let us know in the comment section, of course, as well as while you're down there in that comment section, reply to that pinned comment to be a part of Fan Mail Friday coming up on Friday. We'll answer your questions here. And of course, the Locked On Yankees Insider Club always gets priority. You can check the episode description for more info on what that is. Okay, coming up in a second, we mentioned the pitching market is strange. This is not the only move. We're going to talk about where that leaves the Yankees when we come back.
The NFL regular season is wrapping up, but there's still time to get in on the action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. The app is so easy to use, and there are so many ways to bet, like live same-game parlays. You can even find bets in the brand new Explore tab when you explore the app. If you're looking for baseball already, I know it's only January, but we're almost there. The Yankees 2024 World Series odds are still at plus 850, and they're still favored to win the AL at plus 450. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make your first bet a layup. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Back here on Locked On Yankees. Hey, everydayers out there, don't forget we are Monday, Wednesday, Friday still here on the show for the next probably about a month and a half or so. We'll still be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So 3 times a week right now. And of course, if you're looking for something on Tuesday and on Thursday, you can always check out the Locked On Sports Today 24 streaming YouTube channel. So go check it out today. Again, that's searching Locked On Sports Today. It's streaming 24/7. Top stories, the top shows every single day, every hour of the day. All right, Stace, this pitching market right now, dude, man, the big deal, of course, that especially affects the American League East and potentially could impact the American League East for a couple of years now. Chris Sale traded from the Red Sox to the Braves for infield prospect, in all likelihood, shortstop Vaughn Grissom. I know the Braves need pitching. I know everybody needs pitching.
It feels like everyone needs pitching, right? Yeah.
This is maybe the gamble of all gambles. Like,
yeah.
What would you put more of a gamble, this or the Dodgers forcing Glasnow to extend?
Ooh.
Those are 2 gambles.
Yeah. Yep. And those are 2 big-time pitchers who are now out of the AL East
Yes.
when they pitch.
Well, yeah, I was like, were they ever?
Yeah, when they pitch. I was shocked by this move. And I know the Red Sox are throwing in some money too.
They have to.
Yeah, to sweeten the deal. But I don't know. There's a lot of
27.5 is that contract, I think, left. And then there's an option, which is very up in the air, let's say.
There's a lot of risk with Chris Sale. There's the injury history. There's the anger issues history. You know, it's not only like everyone always jokes about the cutting up of the uniforms when he was with the White Sox, but there was that incident when he was rehabbing with one of the minor league teams
Worcester.
on the Red Sox. It was right? Okay, it
I
was
was
them.
there.
Okay.
I was literally, they literally were playing the Rail Riders. We were
Okay,
there.
that's
We
right.
knocked them out.
That's
Incredible feeling, by the way. We
That's
were
right.
all so stoked. And then we started seeing all the videos like popping up on Twitter mid-game. And we're like, from the vantage point of the press box, you can't see into that
Right.
spot of the dugout.
Yeah.
That was literally the Yankees
That's right.
AAA affiliate. And I was there with former guest Adam Marco.
I forgot about that. That's right.
Yep.
It was the Yankees doing that. Yeah. And you know,
that was a beautiful day.
he destroyed a clubhouse TV in a minor league stadium. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? And then he got injured last year with one totally different injury, and then he breaks his wrist while he's riding a bike, and then he's out for the rest of the season. So there's a lot of like weird things with Chris Sale, and he just feels like a risk. And I think the Red Sox maybe had enough of it, you know, like same thing with the Verdugo stuff. They're just like, all right, let's unload these two guys because let's just change the vibe around here.
Yeah. Of course, the Red Sox did sign Lucas Giolito as well to a 2-year, $38.5 million contract. And then there's also talks that Zach Plesac, it's unconfirmed as of this recording, but seems like there's a major league deal in place with the Angels. Zach Plesac was so bad last season, unbelievably bad. He got outrighted off of the Cleveland 40-man, and no one took a flyer on him. And he was bad in AAA. And he's getting a major league deal.
That's how weird the market is. It's just weird.
Don't know the details of it, but just I don't know, dude. I mean, between the trades here, the Glasnow trade, obviously Yamamoto's 12-year deal, everything's crazy on the pitching front right now, right? Like on the position player front, everything seems pretty normal. Normal.
Yeah.
Pitching is in such short supply. I feel like everybody's taking a gamble.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't know that I was really shocked by the Giolito deal. Like that's a lot of money. Like I know he's been good in the past, but he hasn't been good in a while. And I was shocked by that. I was really floored by that deal.
Yeah, we've talked about Lucas Giolito in relation to the Yankees and potentially maybe having a guy like that around.
Not for that price.
The Yankees weren't going to do a year 16 for Montas. They weren't going to do nearly 40 for Giolito. Again, we've talked about Giolito's struggles this past season in 2023, the multiple trades, the outwriting, the waivers, and the divorce that he had to go through, which was in all understanding very not good, which seems to have led to all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I know he's with the Red Sox now, but I root for him. He seems like a really great guy. He stands up for social causes. He does all this good stuff. So you just hope that he bounces back, just not against the Yankees.
One more note about Giolito. His buddy Lopez is not going to be with him anymore.
That's right. Finally, he gets some freedom from him.
Yeah,
don't have to bunk up anymore. No more sitting next to him on the bus. Okay, but Stace, like, who's left here, right? Like, wanted to say, like, who's left that the Yankees could be targeting? Obviously, the biggest free agent name still is Blake Snell.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about some trade stuff, but this is all free agency. Shoto Yamanga is still available and out there. That feels like we kind of came to the consensus that was a little bit of a consolation prize for no Yamamoto. I still don't know how there isn't movement on Michael Lorenzen, and of course Jordan Montgomery. There's still options out there. Obviously, we've talked about Corbin Burns. We've talked about Shane Bieber a little bit. It's just so thin. It's just so thin.
We knew that coming in, though, right? We knew that coming into the offseason that, actually the whole free agency class and everything that was happening with that was kind of thin. Every position pretty much, like we knew 23, 24 offseason was going to be kind of like, eh. And I mean, some things.
Shohei. It was like the Shohei and the Yamamoto stuff. And then, of course, they're both on the same team.
Yeah. How boring is that? I feel like Jordan Montgomery, I know I saw some things where people were thinking maybe Boston, but I feel like with the Giolito thing, maybe not.
They still need pitching.
I mean, they do
still need a lot of pitching. Like they very easily could get another.
Yeah.
Easily. It could pick up 2 more. They have nothing there.
That's true.
Nothing. They have without Sale and without Giolito being super official yet, they have 3 starters.
I can't even think of who's in their rotation.
It's like
but
Brian Bayo,
okay.
Houck, like that's their rotation right now. It's crazy. Yeah, they have they didn't have any pitching last season. Didn't have pitching in 2022. They haven't had pitching for a while in Boston.
Yeah.
I don't know, Stacey. It feels like these contracts, yes, they're a lot shorter. Save Yamamoto, obviously.
But the per years.
The price tags are like warranting like number 2 guys. Lucas Giolito is not a number 2 right now. He's not. Yet he's getting number 2 numbers.
What does this mean for Blake Snell?
Right? Like Blake Snell's watching this like, I'm going to keep waiting here.
He's like,
I'm going to keep, yeah.
This is Blake Snell right now. He's like, oh, okay.
Every one of these trades, every one of these signings, Blake Snell keeps going up.
Yep.
So he's doing the right thing by waiting.
Yeah.
And that goes for Jordan Montgomery. That goes for Michael Lorenzen's deal. Every time one of these guys gets traded or signed, like they add like a year. Like Lorenzen's like all of a sudden one of the more formidable starting pitchers on the market.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy where this is at. I don't know what the Yankees are going to do, but they have to do something.
Yeah.
And it's very clear that it's going to come at a cost at this point.
Yeah. The only team worse off than the Yankees pitching wise is probably the Red Sox.
Yes. Yeah, that's for sure. Man, I don't want to get into what I was thinking of. Maybe that's for a future episode. I'm gonna put that in the dugout.
Ooh, okay.
Anyway, all right, we're gonna step aside. We have New Year's resolutions we need to get to for the Yankees since it is New Year's Day. That's coming up next. Back now on Locked On Yankees. Hey, 'tis the season, our final holiday here. If you're watching this as it comes out, like, did you ring in the New Year with us? That's bizarre. That's bizarre to me. But hey, love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's one way to ring in the New Year. Locked On Yankees, us talking about Frankie Montas, just as you all expected it. But we did have some New Year's resolutions. More importantly, Stacey had some New Year's resolutions that you wanted to get to here today for the Yanks. I feel like this is a Locked On tradition. This is like a Locked On baseball tradition. Everybody does New Year's resolutions for every January 1st or 2nd or however the timing works out. So what were some of the resolutions you had for the Yankees this coming season?
Okay, so it's not everyone because that would take too long. But key guys. We're doing key guys here. So, and most of these are supposed to be humorous, so don't take them seriously in the comments. Okay. Aaron Judge is going to try not to run into any walls in 2024.
I think that's fair. As considering how the last time he touched a wall went.
Whew, just, geez, Aaron. Like, jump up on the wall and, rob a home run like he did against Shohei Ohtani that one time. Yeah. But no running through walls, actually, is what it was. He ran through the wall.
Actual question here, Stacey, on that front. Do you think he's going to get less outfield time this coming season? I mean, look where we're at. Defensively.
Ooh.
The amount of names out there without injuries, the Stanton situation. Is Judge going to get less outfield time this 2024? I'm sure they would like it.
I think they'd like to, but I don't think he'd let them.
That's fair.
Fair.
Anyway, I didn't want to open a can of worms there, but it just hit my brain as you're doing that. What's the next one?
Giancarlo Stanton should try to hit more balls.
Yeah. More importantly, not directly into the ground.
Into the ground.
Into the plate.
Yeah. Yes. Don't kill any more worms.
Yes.
Hit the ball in the air like you used to, like 450 feet. That's
preferably.
I mean,
I'll take 425.
Yeah, 425. Most parks, 425, you'll get it out. But yeah, no more worm killing. Save the worms. Be nice. Carlos Rodon vows to be a solid number 2 behind Garrett Cole. That's his resolution. Or
just be a number 2.
Yeah.
I'll lighten it even more. It's like, I want to lose 20 pounds in the new year. It's like, I'm cool with 12.
Yeah, right. Right.
That's where I'm at. It's like, be a great number 2. Yeah. Be a number 2.
Just be a number 2. Just be a solid. Don't be where, Garrett Cole pitches and then you're thinking, oh no. Have us think, oh, cool. Rodon's pitching.
Yeah. Be there. Be on there.
Yes. Anthony Rizzo will do a better job of protecting his head and his neck.
Self-explanatory.
Garrett Cole doesn't have to make any resolutions because he's awesome.
Also self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Win another one. Win another one.
Go win another Cy Young. But other than that, just keep doing what you're doing. You don't have to do anything.
Win another one and try not to opt out, okay?
Yes, please. Oh, yes. That's what I want his resolution to be.
Don't opt out.
Gleyber Torres should resolve to cut down on the boneheaded miscues on the bases and in the field.
Yeah, because he's going to be the everyday second baseman. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, like you just need to like get your head together.
Keep hitting the way though. Keep hitting.
Oh yes. That's my only issue. Keep hitting the way you were hitting last year because he was the most solid, steady hitter all season.
It's the Gley way.
Yeah. See, when I see the Gley way, I think of I don't know why I keep singing, but I sing the Backstreet Boys. I Want It That Way in my head.
I Want It Gley way.
The Gley way. Yeah.
Yes.
Anthony Volpe should try to steal more bases when he's actually on those bases and create more havoc on those bases. Like this is what you're here for, kid. Like, you're speedy and you're the type of guy that is a fire plug. And we need you to start stuff. And especially now with Juan Soto there, and there may be more dudes on base and more opportunities for you being on base for the guys at the top of the order to do something with you. So do that, because the few times that you did do that during the season, it was fun watching you score.
Yeah, I think with the moves the Yankees have made here this offseason, the trades that they've made, it almost guarantees that he's going to be the guy kicking the order back around. So like, yes, just getting on, setting the table for guys like Juan Soto, setting the table for guys like Gleyber. Judge. He's got to be the table setter. Like that is 100% his role next season. And if he wants to keep that role, he better start doing it because Oswald's on his back. I don't think this is done, dude. I know like the spring training battle feels like it's over. And as much as the Yankees probably don't want to admit it, better guy should play. And Oswald might be the better guy eventually. At some point, push may come to shove. Breathing down his neck.
I have one more resolution that I thought of.
Okay, hit me.
Aaron Boone should resolve to keep, when he does get ejected, to imitate the umps making bad calls because it's hilarious.
I'll one up you there. Every time you get ejected, I want you to also have been fined. That way it was a good ejection.
Right. Yes. Make it count, man. Make it count.
Yeah. Not my money.
Exactly.
So
right.
I'll spend it willy-nilly. Yeah. Oh, yeah, please. I want to see that. I just
give us our money's worth.
Yes.
When you get ejected.
Give us something to talk about if things are going bad. If it was a bad day, you give us something to talk about in the middle of August, just like you did last season. It's great.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man. This season, if we're on the 2024 New Year stuff, as it's hitting my brain, there's so many storylines to go into here in 2024. Like, hit subscribe because there's going to be a lot of stuff we need to go through here. From last year of Boone to Soto extension crap to Volpe Peraza 2.0 to Oswaldo to Rodon
to even Cole
staff to Clayton Beater. There's so much. There is so much of I guess uncertainty right about the 2024 season. Like, I guess heading into 2023 you kind of had a little bit of that too, but I think given the way 2023 went, now going into 24, your brain's going, I don't know what to believe anymore. Like everything is a wild card into this season. The only thing that feels steady is Cole.
Yeah.
That's really it. There are so many question marks heading into the season. I mean, spring training can't get here soon enough.
Maybe Gleyber.
Maybe. But I mean, like, it's not like he's been that steady for 4 years in a row.
Right. That's true.
Is there going to be a regression?
Right. Yeah.
It's completely possible that he regresses.
Actually, I feel like Judge. I'm not worried about Judge. I feel like, if he stays healthy, but this was a fluke.
But
it was a fluke. It was a fluke. That was a fluke accident. This wasn't it wasn't like a Stanton thing where he pulled something running, which always happens with Stanton. This was he literally ran through a wall kind of a thing. And when he came back, he looked the way he normally looks. So I'm confident about Judge and Cole, the two guys that the Yankees need to build around because they're wasting their time. So, yeah. That's
everything else.
Everything else is up in the air.
Soto could get off to the start of 24 like he got off to the start of 23 and never turn it around. That's totally possible too. Like, it's not like Soto's a foregone conclusion either. Give us your biggest worries heading into 2024, and maybe some resolutions while you're down there in the comment section. Of course, leaving your questions for Fan Mail Friday, all that stuff. Our first episode of the new year, and of course, whatever's this season, whatever this year holds, here we go. It's 24. Here we go, and pitching. Gotta get it now. But of course, we have episodes Monday, Wednesday, Friday here this week, just like we will for the next couple of weeks until pitchers and catchers report. So make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of it and any of this wild goose chase that we're about to go on for pitching. And that's going to do it for the first episode of the new year on Locked On Yankees. I'm Steve Granado.
And I'm Stacey Gatsoulias. We'll see you on Wednesday.